Pull up and load the wagon. Get good and get mad. Tell me who we drafted. Wheels up and what's happening. Pull up and load the shout out. Y'all already know what we about. Filling up a team that is usually not allowed. Ain't even a reason to scout. Ain't even a take you can tout. Ain't even a lineup to doubt. Sim in the season we out. Yeah, game without no players. This ain't for the haters. No, but by now see you later. I cater to the guessing what they into. I'm finna load the wagon, partner. What about you? It's the wagon. Get good and get better. Tell me who we draft.
Look at that, Dolphins. Hey, how did we feel to experience that?
Man, we finally, it's been a while, but we got this.
Oh, congratulations.
I feel like this is almost like some sort of therapy thing, like watching them go to the Super Bowl and lose so much when I was a kid, and now we're seeing them win here. It feels great.
All right, everybody, and welcome back here to another episode of Load the Wagon. It's the Madden franchise draft show. Guests come on, they draft a team, and then we simulate the year to see how it goes. Tonight, we are joined, which way? Left, right? This way? Herms! And you can find his fantasy work with the Fantasy Six Pack. You can check out the podcast. It is a sideways look at fantasy football. It's called The Lateral. And he is an associate NFL editor over there at Clutch Points. Not only that, he also dabbles with some music. Catch him with the guitar and vocals out there as well. Herms, welcome to the show.
Wonderful to be back. Also, man, I sound really impressive with all those credits when you line them all up like that.
Hey, welcome to the life. Shout out to guitar, shout out to vocals, shout out to Midnight Ride. Is that what it was? What is it?
Oh, gee.
Shout out to SoundCloud.
That's all. Dude. Oh, man, I got some bops on there. Not gonna lie.
That's all I know.
Not gonna lie.
And that's right. Okay, so just to get into it, this is the Madden Franchise Draft Show. You come on. We'll go about 25 rounds. That is 11 offense, 11 defense, plus a couple extra. Let's see. Injuries are turned off. We can make a trade at the end of the draft if you want. It's about 50-50 to fill a need. And then we could switch positions, wide receiver to running back, cornerback to safety. And we are out here trying to draft the championship team. You are following the first Super Bowl victory of season 3 on Madden 2023 here for Sam Wagman. Shout out to Swagman95, I believe, on the Twitter. So how about them Phillies? What did Bryce Harper do? Did he do anything?
He hit a dinger. That thing went a very long way.
All right. Shout out to home runs. Chicks dig the long balls. I used to have that shirt when I was a young kid. But let's go hop into here. Shout out to Mike Tomlin, but now we have the Herms as the Steelers coach. We will kick it off here with the fantasy draft. Now, what are you thinking? You got is that 18th overall pick? First round, is that 18? I can't see. 18 is right. How do you think? We're going to go offense, defense. How are you going to build? I mean, again, think more redraft than dynasty. We are doing a 1-year simulation. So here are the quarterbacks. So I know back in the day, there was a cheat code. If anybody paid attention in the earlier seasons, Tom Brady, I think he was like 88, 90 overall. He was falling to like round 16, 17, 18. But, quarterbacks, they will dry up quickly here in this draft. Oh, man, let's go Phillies. Pitchers tipping pitches. All right.
Oh, yeah, dude. McCullers is not out here with his best stuff tonight at all. I mean, like, Alec Boehm hit another bomb off of him, too. I mean, that's, dude.
Players.
Look, I'm a fan of the Washington Nationals. I'm not a big fan of the Phillies for obvious reasons, but, like, they're killing it.
Oh, all right. And just talk about killing it. Let's kill it in this draft. Oh, wait.
Yes.
So, first round. Shout out to Josh. First round, what are we thinking to do here? What are we going to draft? You got your Madden franchise draft team. We'll simulate the year and see how your team does.
Yeah, I mean, right off the bat, quarterback is something that does kind of intrigue me, but also, like, if you can anchor an offensive line, that really does go a long way in Madden simulations. Because, like, whenever I've done Madden franchises that have, like, atrocious offensive lines, nothing good happens, like, at all.
Yeah, definitely in this Madden 23, Zach Martin is someone you could probably find in the second round at least. I think left tackle Williams will be here. You could get him in the second, maybe third too, if you're lucky. There's definitely a lot of good bodies there. I know you said something about quarterback. That's really cool. Or on the defensive side, building the trenches, you've got Donald here. TJ Watt, I think we're using the Pittsburgh scheme. He could fit right in there. So what are we thinking? First pick, first round? What are we going with?
Okay. All things considered, now that I think about it, I am torn between Aaron Donald and TJ Watt. Just because, like you said, like IRL, TJ Watt already knows the assignment, but then also in the game, super unstoppable. But like, dude, Aaron Donald is
99
just, like,
overall.
I know, right, dude? Oh, man. Especially because, for all intents and purposes, if I screw up something later, like Aaron Donald is one of those dudes. Bump him into tackle, boom, hey, ooh,
exactly,
super good.
Yeah, versatility. I mean, TJ Watt could probably do that, but maybe not as good. Well,
you know what? I'm going to ignore my homerism, and I'm just going to say Aaron Donald is probably the good idea.
Is that what I'm drafting?
Yes, sir. Also, I mean, he went to Pitt. It's close.
Okay,
enough.
you said yes, sir. Okay.
Yeah,
Aaron Donald's been a very popular pick, and teams have done different strategies here in year 3, and there's been no even my drafts offline. There's no like consistent strategy that'll win. It's been variable, so you just got to draft the team how you want here, and we'll see what happens.
Big facts.
No printer. All right, so let's see. I know you were talking about that line. I wouldn't lie to you. We still are looking at Williams, Martin, and Nelson. However, like I was alluding to, the quarterback is drying up really quickly. You could get a Kirk Cousins, Matt Ryan, around 11, 12, 13 or whatever. So that's probably the fallback option, because why would you take Derek Carr now, especially with these players available? You could continue building. I mean, Cameron Hayward's there. Bring him back home. Von Miller, again, these are like superstar X factors. You know how that is. But for anybody watching the superstar X factor, they have the highest abilities. They get superstar and zone abilities. They are the red. There is a gold superstar. They just get superstar abilities. And then there's just a silver star. No extra simulation abilities, but they're, a star, a pretty good player. And then there's just a normal development. So in a Madden game, statistics matter, also those extra abilities. So what are we thinking here heading into round 2?
I do kind of want to go back to the defense, but at the same time, Trent Williams, just
you were
by
talking about
far
building it.
Best tackle in this entire game, just absolutely killing it. And like you said, like, A, he has that superstar. B, look at those little statistics right there. Look at those ratings. 99, 99, 99. Like, he's the dude.
Except for Hurts. Josh noticed it.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Jalen Hurts is
do better, Madden.
Hey, fools. They'll get around to that player update rating thing, whatever. They do that, like, every couple of weeks or so, right?
Look, there's me.
Yeah, true.
All right, so what were you saying? What do you go? I mean, you're saying trenches. It sounds like Trent Williams. Trenches.
Hey, Trench Williams. Yeah, dude. I mean, it legitimately does not get better than him in
this.
Are
we go with him?
Hold up. Wait a minute. Back up. He's not an X factor?
Yeah. Again, Madden, do better. I will just leave this comment up all day. SMH, that's the theme here. Yeah. I know I could edit rosters, but I cannot edit abilities. So, what does Zach Martin have?
Dude, I mean,
SMH. What is Quentin Nelson? Nelson has to be an X factor.
If nothing else, if Quentin Nelson is not, we riot.
He's superstar. We're just leaving Dave's
okay,
you know what? Leaving it up. All right, but either way, still getting a 99 overall superstar is pretty solid. Don't let that sway your pick. But if you do want the X factor, I think Hayward and Miller have them. Maybe I think Davis is a superstar.
Yeah, I mean,
but 99 overall. That's
I'm willing to take that chance. Let's just go with Trent Williams.
It's still a superstar.
Well, even though it's not an X factor, you cannot teach 99.
Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe they don't use X factor on the online, but then it's like, why not? Like,
I mean, at that point, like, in its own way, it's already kind of an X factor, quote unquote. I mean, like, for the functionality of the game, not really, but you know what I mean. You're picking up what I'm putting down.
Ooh, Von Miller's there still, and Hayward. It is. It's interesting,
bro.
That's a good point,
dude. Okay, the fact that both of those guys trickled back is, first of all, amazing, and second of all, now I'm just like really tempted to.
And we can move Donald to left end. You could move Miller to outside linebacker. It's not like the biggest, or to left end. You know what I mean? So whatever you want to do out here, it's all what you want to do.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, bro, dude. Okay.
There's the offensive line. I know there's Zach Martin. I'll show you quarterbacks. I'm pretty sure Carr's still here. That's cool. But like, you're looking at Jalen Hurts, SMH 78. Do better, Madden. But he'll go probably soon. But it's like, Madden simulation. You get it. You don't need to take him there. If we were doing a dynasty draft, that would be pretty cool.
True. But
it's your team here. What are we thinking? This is just BPA. I could go. I think Buda Baker is superstar. That's cool. Shout out the Cardinals.
yeah, I mean, he nice. He
You
knows
got Derrick Henry,
knows
but
what
you don't
time it
really
is.
need that. Vita VA is pretty solid. He could be your defensive tackle, and then just have Miller and Aaron Donald on the edges. But it's your draft. What are we thinking? Round 3.
I'm either going Von Miller or Cam Hayward, and I'm just going through in my head like which one I really think is going to make that
Right.
bigger difference. Like,
So it's probably Hayward will be a good in the 3-4 down, like 3 down lineman, I guess. And then like Miller, you could kick out to the edge, outside linebacker, like TJ Watt's position or the other position.
true, especially because think about it. Like with Hayward into if I just I could move either him or Donald to tackle, and literally no one's ever
Or
gonna
left
run on
end,
this.
because you still need that.
Exactly. So I think I'm going to attack the front. I'm going to bring back Hayward.
Yeah,
Screw
he
it.
knows what we checked. He's a superstar, right? Oh,
Yeah,
he's an X Factor.
X Factor, bro.
for sure.
Yeah, man.
Cool. So Cam Hayward coming back to town.
absolutely, dude.
Nice. So you're building through the trenches. Is this going to be a continued theme?
I mean, look, I am a Steelers fan. I grew up watching this team. I only know one version of football.
What is that?
Trenches, baby.
Trenches, baby.
Trenches. Although not
Those
so
are the
much with
trenches.
not so much with the offensive line right now. But
Yeah,
other than that,
We don't need to talk about that because here we are. Okay, what are we thinking? Kind of losing a lot of here. A lot of the guys are gone. I can look for developmental traits, and then I believe shout out to Najee Harris. Ooh, Eric Kendricks is here. Gilmore for cornerback at a lockdown, levels to a secondary. So Kendricks is, in a 3-4 scheme, I think they run. You need at least one middle linebacker.
that is true.
What are you thinking? I could go by position, obviously. So here's kind of BPA. Oh wow, Davis is 93. Oh, he's also a superstar. So
Yeah,
why
bro.
would Kendrick show up first?
No idea.
What are we thinking? What are we thinking?
I kind of want to take a peek at quarterback just one more time.
Yeah, I think Carr's definitely gone, but I'm telling you,
Okay,
these guys,
all right, yeah.
Hurts last in here. It's because he's I don't know why. Madden gave him a normal development, and that's something that I cannot change. I could change overall, so I could update him, but I can't give him a star. I don't know why they didn't at least give him a star ability, but I digress. So what are we thinking? We got other guys, Roquan, Rashawn Gary. He could be another edge rusher. You could throw Roquan to middle linebacker if you want, or keep him there. Max Crosby, shout out to him. Shout out to the Raiders. What are we thinking? I'm just going to go back up top. So BPA.
Yeah. Okay. Let's take a look at the. I know that the overall and all that stuff doesn't really reflect it, but if we did change Roquan to middle linebacker, he'll be
why
around
not just
in the
take
next round,
Davis? I'm unsure. Maybe. There could be a chance he goes, but maybe. But it's like Roquan will stay at 88 and a star, but Davis is sitting there, 93 superstar. You're going to go with Roquan over that?
You make a good point. Yeah. Now that we've evaluated,
It's your
all
team,
the-
though, man. I don't want to, shout out to the newly acquired Baltimore Raven, Roquan Smith.
dude,
Shout out to Maryland area, right, or something.
100%, man.
So we could do Roquan, of course, but if we are in a simulation, can't teach statistics in Madden, and Demario Davis has that.
Although, okay, now that I think about it, because there are other good, no offense to Demario Davis, he's a good option here, but there are other options at his position. Whereas I just realized Lane Thomas exists, and he is just right there,
Yeah.
anchor the other side of that line. Oh my lord!
And he's a superstar.
Exactly.
Is that how we hitting this?
100, dude.
I
Absolutely.
like that, man, for sure. Because you could always, again, if you want the trade, you could use it. About 50 people do. And trading for other positions besides these offensive linemen who are superstars is relatively easy. So
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Positional scarcity. Got to make sure that my running back, whoever it is, eventually can run. Got to make sure they got that room.
Oh, wow. Lawrence is hanging. Oh, even Roquan made it back.
So
Pretty solid, but so is Lawrence is hanging over there at 90 overall.
Yeah,
at
dude.
left end, and then you could even, or if you just kind of want to punt that, because don't forget you do have Donald and Hayward, so you at least have 2 out of the 3 down linemen. which is good. So I don't know if you want to force a lot of this draft capital into that. I know you did mention Roquan. He's hanging around 89 overall. And middle linebackers went away, but Denzel Perriman is going to be around there, early 10s, maybe like a Jerome Baker, early 10s as well.
Yeah,
but
the Patrick Queen, shout out, like a little lower in the overall, but he's a baller. He can play.
He'll go early, like these early digits for sure.
Yeah.
But there's always bodies. Any position you want to look at it, it's just kind of how you want to build this team.
I think Roquan just makes a lot of sense,
Pick him
especially because we could look. Yeah, dude, like think about the world of possibilities that we have at that point. Like that, it seems like a fine move in my opinion. Although the star, it's
but he's got 80 zone coverage, like 73 man. He has good block shedding. He doesn't got the moves, but like he can still shed some blocks to make some plays. And he's not like your run guy. He's just your middle linebacker, pass coverage downs too.
Yeah, and it doesn't really get a lot better than him at this point with some of the guys that we're looking at. Yeah. So, this would be.
And you need at least one in a 3-4 scheme. You need at least one.
Yeah. You know what? Let's just go ahead and take him. That feels nice.
Shout out to Maryland. Shout out to Baltimore. Shout out to DMV.
The flag flies behind me at all times on these shows. So
that's right. Shout out to Maryland. All right, man. We got a pretty solid team here coming. Heading in here to round 6. Pretty much going defensive heavy here. And then, of course, the offensive line. So we can't really... Ooh, Aiden Hutchinson just went. Love that pick. Dude, that's a good dynasty pick.
What a guy. Also, man, that's going to be a scary team once they use all this draft capital that they got now.
They trade up for Stroud or Young. Let's fucking go. But it doesn't matter because here we are. We got Petonio over there, another 90. We have some bodies here, especially in the secondary. We're going pretty low here on overall.
Yeah,
I'll show you quarterback just because that's probably a need, but like you're sitting fine. I wouldn't lie to you.
Although no more Hurts, though. That is interesting. Some of the other guys did stick around, but not Jalen Hurts.
No, he's 22 years old, like 78 overall or whatever. He's going to go for sure.
Facts.
Petonio's 90. That's pretty solid. Secondary options you're looking at too. It's kind of just what you're thinking here, man. You can't teach overall. 91 Simmons, pretty solid. 90 and 90 over here with Smith and Poyer. You will need edge rushers, regardless. Not much here left over at right outside linebacker. Left outside linebacker, you do have an edge rusher there in Melvin Ingram. So something to keep in mind. Maybe you could move Donald to... Oh, you could move Bradley Chubb, right outside linebacker. You could move...
One of the things I'm thinking about, just keeping it in my back pocket, is the fact that Bradley Chubb, is I'm probably a better linebacker for this.
Right, and I'm sure Quinn will fall. All these older guys will fall. Maybe Chubb is going soon. Emmanuel Agba, he could go to left outside linebacker, things like that. So I don't know. It's kind of just what you want to do here.
Yeah, I've definitely done that in franchises in the past where it's just like, oh shit, I forgot to get linebackers. You just look at that pool of guys and like, oh yeah, he can do that. So, yeah, I'm gonna be frugal with that. I'm definitely gonna keep an eye on it. A good call on your part for sure. I definitely get down with that.
JPP, Jason Pierre-Paul, super late. Cornerbacks are going thin. Byron Jones. Hayward's gonna hang around because he's a little bit older, but these younger guys, Peters. Well, younger. He's 29, but he's not 35 like Hayward or whatever. Are going to be going here shortly. So I don't know if you want to target some secondary or maybe go with the trenches over there with Petonio, but we'll go back here to all positions and see what you want to do.
Secondary sounds really good, especially because, like you said, the last couple of safeties that have anything in the 90s, they're not going to be coming back around, but also
Harrison Smith will be there 8, 9, maybe 10 if you're lucky, and he's a 90 and a superstar.
Well, in that case, and with kind of
you'll need 2 either way,
Yeah. Just in that case, and with everything that I can do with the linebackers, just by converting, defensive ends and stuff, I'm just going to go Petonio, just keep building it because it's dude,
90 overalls, dude.
Exactly, man. Bro, the O-line is going to be so good. Like
Yep.
that's what matters.
You got 3 out of 5, and all 3 are 90s. Like, as Zeitler, he's a right guard. He's like 35 years old. He's a 85 overall, and you could get him like round 11, 12, 13 if you're lucky,
Especially because, like, well, not only that, but like I get to ignore the offensive line now for a little bit because, like, I already got
Justin Simmons is here. Peters is here.
Yo.
What are we thinking, man? I mean, you were yoing. Is that yo for Justin Simmons at 91 overall? So someone like Devin McCourty, he also has superstar, but he'll be over there around 10, 11, 12, and he could be a cornerback. He could, whatever, positions can be changed.
Yeah.
But you can't teach 91 overall, but he could be an option but it falls. But it's like, what else are you going to get? Like, you don't really need much of this. Maybe, again, if you just want to see, I'm pretty sure Chubb is done. But, you got options here. Robert Quinn will probably drop a little bit. You could move him to outside linebacker. Jadeveon Clowney could probably be an outside linebacker. He's 83 overall.
Absolutely.
I'll show you the outside linebacker here. Melvin Ingram, he was on that team for a little bit, right? Leonard Floyd's pretty solid. There's always going to be an old body, a Justin Houston you can scoop up, but you are missing 2 edge rushers. Shaq Thompson's not really an edge rusher per se, and neither is Logan Wilson. What are we thinking, man?
I think I'm just gonna go with. Justin Simmons.
We got Peters. Hayward's kind of hang around. I hear you saying Justin Simmons, and you could always pair these 2 up. Because don't forget, like in a 3-4 scheme, we could always drop a safety to pair with Roquan Smith on third downs. So it's Harrison Smith and Roquan Smith on third downs in the middle of the field. That's pretty solid.
I still think I gotta go with Simmons, though.
No, of course. You could still get Harrison Smith around 9-10 or whatever you want. 91 overall, you can't teach that.
Exactly. And also, like you said, like the McCourty to cornerback hack is just like...
or strong safety. It doesn't matter. Yeah. It's always the same. The only thing that really matters is edge rusher. You don't want to play Khalil Mack in a Roquan Smith role,
Exactly, yeah. Like I'm definitely playing with fire here a little bit as far as that goes, but I feel really good about especially like those last couple picks. Right. Oh God, Harrison Smith is still there. Oh my God.
Yeah, I wouldn't lie to you, man. Maybe he'll be around there for another round, especially if you want to target.
Yeah, I'm just amazed, honestly. Like that's more of what my reaction to that is. I'm like, whoa, dude! Like,
right?
They're just like letting stuff drop to me. This is wild. Oh man.
Hey, he's got a good point, but
let me tell you, bro, when it comes to the running backs and the receivers in Madden, you cannot teach speed. As long as you have speed and a quarterback.
Yeah, but is that a simulation or a user?
Yeah, I guess that's a fair point. But either way.
Yeah.
Okay, so
we got Hunter Renfrow. Odell, Julio will drop a little bit. Like you'll probably miss out on these younger guys right now, but it's like, you could still get a Jarvis Landry, like he's still 77.
Get Chase Claypool back to the Steelers.
Dave.
I'm gonna run that risk.
I think
one
you're
more
fine.
Time.
Yeah, for sure. I think you're fine. It kind of depends. Your 3-4 scheme, you do need a nose tackle per se. Calais Campbell will hang around for a little bit, but you're just pushing down guys. You are looking for those outside edge rushers still. We have Clowney here, pretty solid, 83 overall. Trey Hendrickson, he's 85 overall, but he could be an outside linebacker rusher for you.
So that's kind of what I'm thinking right now. Like I've had the good fortune of letting stuff fall to me, but at the same time, like, bro, I ain't trying to take too many chances for too long. And like, I gotta be honest, the whole Trey Hendrickson idea really does intrigue me. Like that dude, I think he would do pretty well, especially because of all those guys you mentioned, highest overall, and I think he will translate to that role very, very well.
So he doesn't have good block shedding, but he has 88 finesse moves and 76 power moves, which is pretty solid.
That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking, dude. Like I think he'd be a fine fit. I really do. And worst case scenario, if I by the end of this don't really like what I did, I can keep him there and just move Donald or Hayward to tackle. And it's like problem solved.
Yeah, Donald to outside linebacker. I'm sure he has some speed. So is Hendrickson the pick here?
I think so. I think it gives me the most flexibility and stability in general.
Flushability, stackability.
Stacksability. Exactly. You know what I mean? That's what it's all about.
Absolutely, yeah. Versatility. He's got the speed, so he could be the edge rusher. He has a little bit of power to be down there. So, heading in here to round 9, what are we thinking? We're getting really heavy in the trenches here. Harrison Smith and Poyer are still here, and so is Hayward. Is it time just to secure the second secondary? You're still missing corners and the strong safety. That's a superstar. Do you think it's time, or are you willing to risk it?
I'm going to risk it because somebody has to play offense.
Ooh, so are you thinking wide receiver?
Probably, you know, it's
looking at Odell or Robert Woods, obviously, because I think Julio will hang around for a little bit for sure.
I honestly kind of just want to say YOLO and go Odell. Like,
I mean, highest overall for sure.
Not only that, but like, bro, like through. Oh, hey, what's up, Brad? What's up, dude?
Shout out to Australia.
Yeah.
How's Wednesday?
Oh, yeah, that's right. He's in the future, yo. But like, man, like a couple franchises I've already done in this game. It's one of those things where like, you know, you stash him, wait for him to come back, but then that following year, like he produces well. So
is Odell the pick here?
Yeah,
love it. And also shout out to Brad. It was little P. Shout out to Penelope. It was her second birthday a couple days ago. So shout out to Brad Bolt.
Nice.
And wife. Awesome. I mean, he looks good there. Number 3, you need at least one. I mean, in this Madden simulation, I also run the Vegas playbook for everybody. It's a pretty solid, I think, back-to-back drafts here. Akash, shout out to YZR_fantasy, and Sam, shout out to Swagman95. They both had 4 receiving options over 1,000 yards.
Well, damn,
3 receivers and a tight end. But
okay.
I think Akash, he didn't have Sammy Watkins, but I'm pretty sure he had Sammy Watkins, like some random ass player like that. So,
yeah.
But you got Odell. You need at least one. You risked Harrison Smith, and I wouldn't lie to you. Of course, he's still here. And also Calais Campbell, who is a superstar as well, who could be your defensive tackle. And then if at worst case scenario, you could obviously bump out Donald to outside linebacker. But I know you were, shout out Brad. I know you were looking for Harrison Smith, and he's there. He's the highest, almost the highest overall player here. And he's a superstar as well.
One of the crazy things, though, is that, like, because whenever I buy a new version of Madden, the first thing I always, or any sports video game, I pick my favorite team just to get the feel for the new game, do whatever. Like, now that we've gone through all this a little bit and I saw his name pop up, I've actually done in a bunch of Steelers simulations just like getting Jimmy Ward to be the safety. And like now that I saw like his name kind of popped up there
Jimmy
again,
Ward,
I know that I can wait on that dude, and he's actually pretty good. So
yeah, he's a star. He's 31 years old. I cannot confidently tell you how long he'll last. So, you know, just do with that what you will.
I can tell just based on like
a couple rounds you got.
Like based on especially like the free agency simulations in this year's version of Madden that Jimmy Ward hangs around. So I'm assuming it's the same logic.
I'm unsure, man. I can't confidently do that. But if you're willing to risk it, give up a superstar for a potential star, what pick are you thinking to go here?
Dude, especially because I already got Hendrickson and I can kick him out. Calais Campbell would just rule. Yeah. It would just
defensive
absolutely
tackle, dude. You got left end Cameron Hayward, defensive tackle Campbell, and right end Aaron Donald. Like, and then Hendrickson as well. So Campbell's the move.
Like, dude, like this 100%. Like this front will be completely shut down.
And do you think how much do you think I would lie to you?
You would never lie to me, Corey.
Okay, so what if Harrison Smith's going to be around here?
Then I'm gonna shit my pants, and it's gonna be cool, you know, like that, like that.
Oh, he's not. But 90 overall Poyer and then 87 overall Ward are here. But so is Casey Hayward. You still are looking for one cornerback, one strong safety. So I mean, you're gonna get pretty thin there. Shout out to William Jackson. He just came over, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
No, to the Commanders.
Are you from the Commanders?
Oh, to the Steelers. Oh,
yeah,
shit.
Dude.
Cool. McCourty's still here. That is a superstar that you could bump to corner or strong safety. But also, this is your draft. And I think Corey, shout out to CJL, he says it correctly. You have 4 right ends.
It's awesome, isn't it?
But the beauty of Madden, man, you just throw these guys everywhere.
Exactly, bro. Dude, okay. Like, I think at this point, I've had McCourty in the back pocket for a while. I have been
Poyer's
eyeing
90 overall. I think McCourty's going to last at least another round. But again, you're still looking for a quarterback. You're still looking for other pieces. So I don't know. It's kind of your draft out here, however you want to attack it.
I do at least want to get the secondary, a little more underway.
Poyer, McCourty.
I'm probably McCourty, just because, like, no offense to Jordan Poyer, wonderful player, but I got to think about versatility and the fact that, like, I don't think Poyer would do very well. Yeah, like that. And also, like, I don't think Poyer would do very well at corner.
Definitely not. And we're back. Thank God.
Oh yeah, there it is.
I kicked the cable and my screen went blank. So it didn't show up here too.
Yeah, it did.
Oh yeah, dude, I got so nervous. Okay, so McCourty is the move here.
Yes.
I'm so happy that just naturally worked itself out. Thank God.
Finesse. 100%
oh,
finesse.
shit. So we don't gotta bore you with y'all. All right. Ooh, trade for a quarterback. I think trading for a quarterback, especially Stafford. I know he's having his woes right now in real life. I mean, maybe that shoulder or elbows bothered him, but it's gonna be hard pressed to trade for an 88 overall star quarterback. But we could definitely give it a whirl. For sure. I think with Akash, I was able to trade for Kyle Pitts somehow.
Oh, man.
Right?
Funny.
Like a 21-year-old superstar tight end. I don't know how that. Oh, Poyer's hanging around, dude. And Ward. And Hayward. I mean, you do need a cornerback. I mean, McCourty could be your second cornerback. You need at least two. But you're still looking for a safety, but you're talking about that flexibility. We're living in it.
Jeez.
You still need one more edge rusher, right?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, good call. Good looks.
Melvin Ingram's hanging around. So is Leonard Floyd. That's pretty solid, right? Because you're going to have 3 down linemen. Hendricks will be right out. You have a right out, but that's going to be middle linebacker for Roquan. Yes, you are still looking for another edge rusher. Nothing much here. I mean, Melvin Ingram's 84 overall. He's a speed rusher, but he probably also has a little bit of, versatility to be a little power rusher too, if need be.
I think so too. I mean, honestly, that probably feels like
79 power, 90 finesse. That's just about Hendrickson at the same overall. So,
honest, I think that's
you're
probably
getting sacks, dude.
Yeah, I think Ingram is probably the safest move here, especially because of how I've built the team, what I really want to accomplish with the team. Like, because here's with everything that I've done so far, the offense will figure itself out. I am not worried about it, at all.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I don't know how many people here pay attention to Madden Simulation. Like, I feel you're going very veteran savvy with this draft. A lot of people love to just have a good time on the show, get like Josh Allen, AJ Brown, Tyreek Hill, and the defense lets them down. Now, Madden Simulation is tough. It's definitely different than like an NFL. Like if an NFL team you drafted Allen, like AJ Brown, Tyreek Hill, and then like someone else, like you're dominating. But this is a Madden Simulation, and Poyer and Ward are still hanging around, and Hayward.
Look, man, here's the thing. Looking a gift
Robert
horse
Woods.
in the mouth, you cannot look a gift horse in the mouth. The fact that Jordan Poyer is still around.
He's a 90 overall.
Yeah.
You said he may not be good, but he's great in zone, but he's also like decent 80 in man coverage, and he could tackle at 75, so he could fit a simulation for sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, my thing with him was just like, I don't think he would be good if I moved him to corner. But now at this point, looking for the safety, bro, dude, this is too good. Like
strong safety, then move McCourty to corner, and you're pretty solid, dude.
Yeah.
You got overall and superstar abilities at every level.
It's insane.
It is insane.
Oh my God, this is fantastic.
So the only thing you're really missing here on the second defensive side is a backup middle linebacker. But like, don't forget, we could put Harrison Smith in a third down linebacker role.
Yeah.
To pair with Roquan, but that would mean you do need a strong safety to back that up. But I think you're doing pretty fine. Don't worry about that. I do think Poyer has a good looking wife, and shout out to Bills Mafia for sure.
True. Yeah.
I mean, Jimmy Ward is still here, man, but I don't think you need to do that, especially if you're looking at Robert Woods. You do need a second receiver. You do need a quarterback. We are still looking at some guys. I don't know how you feel if you just want to get a guy, but you also still need these 2 offensive linemen at center and right guard. And Zeitler is here, and that's a big drop off. That's 85. And he's the highest. So at center here, you'll have Ben Jones, and left guard, when I switch it, Saffold will be 80. Left tackle, you have Leno at 80. And then right tackle, Balaga is going to be 82. Yeah. But you are like, so Zeitler, this is nice. You know, sometimes he's there in the 15, but usually he goes right about now.
I am going to take the gamble at QB and wide receiver and stuff and just go with Zeitler.
Yeah, you're fine on that.
I like because the way that I've done, especially because here's the other part of it. Like, you told me what the playbook is. That's going to be very run heavy. And like, I already have like a good receiver. So even if my quarterbacks are a little bit meh, even if the wide receiver depth is a little bit meh, all I have to do is build a good line and just have a running back that doesn't suck.
I can change the playbook too, man. Like if you want to go to a run heavy playbook, let's ride, you know, just let me know. Not a big deal. Okay. So let's see. So is wide receiver then the move?
Probably.
I mean, it's a big drop off. You definitely need at least 2. I know you're talking about speed matters. We are looking at Rondale here. We could put him in the slot. You know, there is a slot receiver position in the depth chart. We could have Pickens. You could bring him back. He could be the slot. Well, I mean, Will Fuller, he's not playing in real life, but he's 77 overall. He's 94 speed. When he's playing, he definitely is a difference maker. Or there's Julio, 83 overall. He's well-rounded. But I'll just show you other positions. You're sitting pretty at running back. Here's the quarterback. Just so you see.
I think, honestly, like, it's a little antithetical to some of the stuff that I just said, but, like, I am getting a little antsy about... I understand, like, the difference between, like, Matt Ryan and Kirk Cousins doesn't look like it's a ton, but, like, Kirk Cousins, to me, is the last one of these guys where I feel, like, really good about it.
So we smashing Cousins here?
I think so.
It's a safety net, man. You don't want to be caught lacking at the quarterback position.
Absolutely not.
And an 80 overall, he's going to be fine in a simulation. Look at that accuracy. He's not going to woe you away, but like he's going to be throwing the ball to your receivers. And if you could get some playmakers at receiver to pair with Odell, like, you know, you'll be sitting pretty, man.
Yeah, you know, Cousins can certainly send it. He can absolutely yeet that ball up into the air and make things happen.
Absolutely. So let's not forget, if you do want to do the Harrison Smith thing, which I would recommend, you would need another like safety or corner, you know what I mean? Because McCourty could play strong safety in that case. Here's some corners. You know, there'll always be some guys later. Kareem Jackson falls for a little bit. He's an 84 overall. That's a solid guy you could probably pick later. Receivers, you are looking for a number 2. Julio is still there, and here is a tight end.
Yeah, the old Eaton chuck. You know,
Ertz and Schultz are here. I mean, Trey McBride.
True.
You do have that trade if you want it.
I think trading for a tight end wouldn't be that difficult, so I'm going to keep that one buried. And then, like, especially now that I know that, like, I have Cousins for sure, like, I think dude, Julio and Odell would be so much fun.
Hey, man, it's a simulation. Are we riding with Julio?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. You need a second receiver, dude, for sure.
Not only that, but like, dude, like, and you know how it is with these Madden simulations. Like, all I got to do is just like find like an outrageously fast dude to stick in the slot, and then everything else falls into place. I wouldn't even really need that good of a tight end at that point. So
right, absolutely. So I mean, but talking about good of a tight end, Ertz is hanging around, man. So are some of these nice cornerbacks here. I mean, Akella Witherspoon has the speed and coverage. You currently have You have one cornerback currently.
Oh boy. Yeah. I mean,
and that'll be McCourty, right? If we drop him the cornerback.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah. So you definitely need a second one.
I'll go ahead and take Witherspoon
just to be safe. I think that is a very smart choice.
Not only that, but he is also actually on the team, so we know
he's good. Locker room guy, I guess, right?
Well, somebody has to be there to build the culture with Cam Hayward. All right,
that matters in this game for sure. Okay, you do need a center just to complete the offensive line. I mean, Ben Jones is probably your best bet. I don't know if you just want to knock that out of the park because you know if you do miss out, it goes down a little bit. But it's your team here, not a big deal. He'll be your best offensive line. You could trust me on that. And tight end, you did lose a little bit, but we could always bring Taysom Hill in.
There you go.
Could put him in the slot, dude.
I mean, honestly, look, dude, I actually ended up doing that in a file recently, and I was surprised at how good that actually was. I mean, I don't know how much I trust it for a simulation, but if you're actually gonna like
Pickens is here.
physically play it, like, oh man, oh boy, look
Robbie
at this.
Anderson, Samuel. I mean, Pickens, he's 78. He's not a fast, quick guy like Anderson or Samuel, I guess. But he's 78 overall, and he's sitting there.
Yeah,
And he is the slot archetype, apparently.
yeah. I'll wait for a speedier guy just to get myself.
So is Ben Jones like just to get the offensive line complete? But you do have your trade, but it sounds like tight end will be that move for you.
Probably, yeah, something like that.
So maybe getting the offensive line just to nail it down.
I think I'm comfortable with that. Yeah.
But it's up to you. This is your team. But you pretty much have every position.
Yeah, no, and I mean, like you said the whole time, like it is very true. Like after Ben Jones at center, it becomes like just a whole mess of basically the same guy.
Absolutely.
And like you could move like our guard or something over, I guess. I've done that when I'm
Ben
in a
Jones
pinch.
is the highest. He's the highest.
Yeah. So it's just
I wanted you to trust me with that because we're both good Madden players here. Ben Jones for sure is it. All right, so maybe get a couple picks in here. What are we thinking? Do you want a third receiver? Pickens is still here. Tight end pretty much sounds like we're punting. You will need a second middle linebacker, maybe. There are some solid options sitting around here.
That's true.
You have two quarterbacks, you have your two safeties, so like you're probably fine there. Kareem Jackson is a nice guy to target later potentially. What are we thinking?
Kind of underrated, but like Landon Collins wouldn't be that bad if you moved him to middle linebacker, would he?
I do not know.
Because I mean, it's kind of an odd scheme fit, but at the same time, like I did that once. And like it was not that bad, weirdly, because like
you want to try it, we could rock with it, bro.
Because like he is. I mean, I don't think we have to do that now, just because of like how low he is, and that like that's something to like. I don't know, like that's the type of safety he is already.
You want to get a running back? I mean, you're looking at Fournette at 85 overall.
Now, I'm gonna be honest. That's going to be one of my next moves because, like, I built this line. I want to make sure that I have
right, and you're not really needing anything else besides running back, a tight end, and a middle linebacker. You're sitting like you have everything else.
Yeah,
you're just depth at this point, and a couple starters.
Let's look at some of these linebackers, and if I don't end up loving it, screw it. I think, Fournette behind this line,
85 overall. I mean, you're looking at linebackers like nothing like. You're picking a 78 overall almost backup linebacker over an 85 Fournette. Maybe he'll last a little, maybe not, but it's still like the principle. What are we thinking?
And then also, I mean, worst case scenario, like Collins or especially Blake Martinez would
Collins
get the job
will
done.
Last for sure.
Like,
I mean, you have this offensive line. You talked about building around it. Patterson actually is a superstar for the record. But he's not a good power back. He doesn't have good trucking, things like that. But he is a superstar for the record.
I think Lenny feels like the move, dude. Like,
he's a big boy, man. He's 85 overall. It's a good choice, man.
Because like he'll absolutely punish it.
Oh yeah, absolutely, dude. And he could be a factor in the pass game too. Like no problem. So again, middle linebacker and. Not really much else you need. Tight end, you said you're going to trade for, so doesn't necessarily need to be a target.
Exactly.
I'll bring it over here to the middle linebackers for you. Like you said, Collins is their cornerback, average guys. And then Collins is still there. So is Kareem Jackson, because you could always move, Smith down for sure.
Yeah, no, I mean, the thing that is kind of starting to get me a little bit worried now is that like the safety net of Blake Martinez I mentioned is gone.
Let's go. If not touchdowns. He is, man, but you're fine. I mean, you said Collins. Here's the people available. So I know you talked about speed. I mean, you're looking at Curtis Samuel right here. Maybe Alec Pierce at 92, but
I mean those speedy
KJ
boys will be around. That's
they could be, but not Hamler, not Thornton, but maybe like John Ross hangs around.
Campbell's all the way down there too. I mean, like that's
Isabella. Like these guys will probably last a little bit. Shout out to Calvin Austin, but like
yeah, dude,
the bigger names definitely probably won't last.
Yeah, I think I feel pretty good about how I'm approaching the running back stuff. I mean
For sure.
wide receiver stuff.
Yeah, so let's like
So-
hit on these couple picks here, then we could get to simulating it.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think
I mean, you're rounding out your team here. The draft finishes it for you. You have pretty much every starter besides tight ends. You know,
I am torn now between getting Kareem Jackson and making that move or just going with who was that middle linebacker? Collins. Yeah.
yeah, because Kareem Jackson would only come in on third down when Harrison Smith comes down. So,
I mean, that would be pretty baller. If we're willing to go in and like make that a thing, then I mean I think that would cover
so
myself.
just get Kareem Jackson.
Yeah, I mean
For sure.
I think I can cover my rear end
That's a
just
solid
by
pick.
doing the whole.
So what are we thinking here? Just get a couple picks in here, then we can simulate it. I
Yep.
could adjust the positions because that might take a while. And I got a couple questions here for you.
Absolutely, yeah. A couple more picks. I think we
You're
have
sitting
ourselves a
pretty,
good
This
team,
is-
man.
You know what you're doing out here. Patterson's still there. You could put Patterson at a third down running back role if you want. I know you're looking for speed, man. I mean, Samuel is sitting out here, and so is Hamler.
Okay, let me ask
And
you
you-
this question: how crazy am I to
I
take
don't know.
Patterson and just put him at receiver?
You can
and
put him at
in the
slot.
slot, dude. Like, think
Yeah,
about it.
sure.
Like, honestly, like we know he can
Do it.
do it, right? Like, dude, that's
And he's a
hack.
superstar. I mean,
That
we'll
is a
find
hack.
out.
Like, I'm down with this logic.
Let's find out what it is. Okay, so I mean, got a couple picks. A kicker maybe is cool. I mean, we could just look at tight ends just so you can see. I mean, dude, Tatum's sitting there, bro.
Yeah,
Dulcich out
Yo,
on the
shout out
board,
Greg
baby.
Dulcich. Dude, out here in these streets right there.
Yeah,
Dude, bro,
buddy.
17 targets in his first 3 games. Like,
He's
what
good,
a
man.
guy. Like, dude.
He's good. All right. So what are we thinking? You got your starters. You're locked down.
Yeah, we're gonna trade for a tight end. I'm not thinking about that. Let's yeah. Screw it. I mean, I hate his guts, but if it comes down to it, Justin Tucker. I'm very put off by his vibe. And maybe that's just because I'm a Steelers fan.
Are we going
I feel
Tuck?
like yeah, why not?
Yeah, he's good, man. All right.
Like if
go
I
on.
didn't actively dislike the Ravens, I might have a better appreciation for him.
Right.
But like
Right. For sure. Okay. Let's get a couple of these picks in. Then we have a lot more time to talk here.
yes.
Look at that. Shout out to Josh. Thank you for keeping us up. All right. What are we thinking? I mean, dude, Sam Collins is there. You could guarantee him at middle linebacker. You could guarantee depth.
I could
You got
guarantee him a depth
Samuel.
at safety for all intents and purposes. Like, yeah, bro, dude, yeah, the versatility of Collins is cool. We'll make that pick,
You
and
don't
then
need a slot anymore because you have Patterson. So
That is-
Collins.
true.
I'm just rushing this on to be a little.
You're good, but
What are you thinking? Any extra picks here? I mean, we could check if you want. I mean, it's probably always cool to have a third receiver, an actual third receiver, not
Yeah.
like a running back to slot. Because you never know, 4 wide receiver sets, things like that. I mean, looking at Sammy Watkins, not too shabby. Paris Campbell's there. He has 94 speed. Christian Watson, I know maybe not exciting in real life, but he's a simulation. He's got the stats to back it up. Wandale, baby, but he doesn't have the
Wandale.
speed per se. If you're looking for like a 94, like the other guys.
I got 2 more moves I want to look at. I'm just gonna take no injuries. I'm taking Paris Campbell. Screw it.
Yeah, because he could
Like-
slot in at the slot as well.
Exactly.
All right,
If the
and this is
Patterson
25th
thing
round, so it
is a
your
bad
last pick.
idea, then we have cover.
All right, so what are we thinking here then?
My last thing, and if this doesn't work out, whatever, we're done. If Taysom Hill is still there,
Oh, that would be so cool.
and that's
I
the
mean,
only
if not, a backup tight end, since you are picking for one, will benefit you for sure.
for sure. Yeah,
Like
absolutely.
it's not a bad thing to have a second tight end. No, he is not there. But Adam Troutman, Dan Arnold, Blake Jarwin, Mercedes Lewis. He's a blocking tight end. That's probably good to have, just to have. I don't know.
Let's do that. Actually, that does make a lot of sense because he will swap in certain packages,
I am-
especially for.
Thaddeus Moss. I am unsure how that works. In Madden, they don't have a tight end blocking position. So I think your tight end 1 is just going to slot in at tight end regardless.
Well, we'll just do it to make me feel better.
But I mean, it's always good to have like he at the end of the day he's going to catch a pass, but he could also block if need be.
Exactly. So you know what? With that move, I feel very comfortable with the things that we have done.
I love that. Okay, so I'll go ahead. I'll simulate this. I will edit around the rosters for you. But in the meantime, I have some questions, and I don't know if you were on this when I asked the first round of questions, but I have new questions. Okay, Herms. What would your death row meal be?
Man, honestly, I think because I mean, if I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna go out in style.
Death row, man. Yeah, you get what you want.
There is a Mexican restaurant that me and my family have been going to in our area since like the late 90s or whatever, and they got this. It's on the appetizer menu, but bro, it is very filling. It's just a basket of 4 crunchy tacos, and their beef barbacoa is the most insanely delicious thing in the world. I mean, you got to eat those things fast because otherwise the whole thing is going to fall apart in your hands. But I want to make sure that I got them beef barbacoa tacos in
Anything
my
else?
stomach one more time. I'm happy. Well, I mean, I guess some chips and salsa from that restaurant would be good too. They got good salsa, but like honestly, like that's where I would want that from. Shout out Casa Rico, good food.
Shout out. All right. I actually went to a local spot for they have Taco Tuesday, so I got 2 carnitas, an El Pastor, just a steak taco. It was like $7.
Damn,
it was awesome.
Hell yeah.
All right. Would you rather go to jail for 1 year or go to jail with a Rubik's Cube and you could leave when you figure it out?
I'll do the Rubik's Cube just because like no.
How long do you think you got with the Rubik's Cube?
I kind of understand how it works and that you have to do the patterns in the certain sequence or whatever. Like
mathematics, a 3x3 scheme for sure is all of them are.
There's part of me that thinks I could figure it out, but I did get a little overconfident.
I mean, it is a year. You could, I don't know. What do you think, man? Go to jail for a year or go to jail and whenever you solve that bad boy, you're out?
I think with my level of patience, I might be able to do it in under a year, but I also run the equal risk of never figuring it out and throwing it against the wall.
You don't have that much free time. You have probably a job you got to do or like, chores, whatever, like, like things like that. Like you probably have limited free time.
I'll just take the year. I
don't know how it works, to be honest, but for sure.
Yeah. I mean, why not?
All right. So if you could pick an ambassador to meet the aliens, who would you pick?
Just one human being to represent all of us.
To meet the aliens. Who are you picking?
Yeah. Dude, honestly, like it's a toss up between either Ryan Reynolds or I think Dave Grohl would be a super good.
Who's Dave Grohl?
Lead singer of the Foo Fighters, former drummer of Nirvana.
That's idea. I needed like a okay. Cool.
Yeah, so I think Dave Grohl would be pretty sick.
Shout out to that. Okay. Ooh, what would your weapon of choice in a zombie apocalypse be?
I mean, I would probably. I don't have like a really long sword because it would be effective and it would also enable me to keep my distance.
What if it breaks?
Because I'm assuming that I'd be getting a good sword.
Right, but after time, bullets, you'll run out of ammunition. A sword, it could possibly break. I'm not saying it would. But there is a hypothetical that it would. I guess, right?
Yeah. But like you said, like with a gun, you're gonna run out of bullets. With like a baseball bat or something, I'd rather have something made out of metal than made out of wood. So just like all things considered, probably just like a long-ish sword.
A long-ish sword. You heard it. Okay. What sport would be the funniest to add a mandatory amount of alcohol to?
Man, well, dude, the
funniest.
Straight up, dude. Imagine drunk hockey.
Imagine it. They'll just be falling all over the place.
That would be pretty great. I think that would be the best one.
All right, I love that. Okay. Let's see. Got it. Last question, I think here. If
right.
you could be a fly on the wall, who would you want to listen in on?
Oh man, dude. I mean, are we talking just like past, present? You know,
Yeah, we'll
anything?
say anyone. That's all good. Yeah, anyone for sure.
Okay, like to be in some of those like especially toward like the later part of their discography, like some of those like recording sessions or like writing sessions for some of those like Beatles albums or something. Like I'm not the biggest Beatles fan in the
Ooh,
world,
yeah,
but think about how tight it would be to be a fly on the wall while they're sitting there working on like Sergeant Pepper or something.
sure.
Like, dude, that would be
Just
nuts.
like the sesh, like where they figured out the plan.
Yeah, dude,
Cool.
like that would be I would adore that situation.
Love that. Shout out to that. All right. So I know you said you wanted to trade for a tight end. Let's go ahead and get that over with. I'll kick it overall here. What guy are you thinking?
I mean, I'm just trying to really make sure that like because I want a dude they can catch, but I also really want to make sure it's a dude that can block.
I mean,
Because like the
Ertz,
strength of the
Goddard,
team. Yeah, dude. I
probably
mean,
Goddard, but like I don't know. We could try. I mean, I'm sure Kelsey and Kittle can block. Let's look at impact blocking. That's probably a good stat to look at. We'll kick it here to the Kittle is the highest overall. Hunter Henry, but I mean he's probably just like a 78.
I think we should just go YOLO and see what we can do for Kittle.
All right, man. I mean I got Pitts for Akash, so we'll see what happens.
Because I mean, this would be just the coolest thing if we
It
pulled
would
this
be.
off.
And I mean this is you get one trade, it's all good. This is the rules that I created for this league. We probably at least got to give a first. You want to see what that does?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, almost halfway there. So
Living on a prayer.
Oh, I mean, we could throw a third and like a third next year to see what happens.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
I mean, yeah, I mean, sometimes people reload the wagon. Okay, so no, but like, what about 2 firsts?
I mean, look, dude, look, it would be pretty sick if this panned out.
So something that's holding you back is that the pick is at 20. So that's just, so I think maybe if you throw a second, you got it.
I'm down.
Oh, you're not going to be able to get them.
Sucks. Okay, all right.
If that first was a little higher, you would have been able to get them.
Here's the good news, though. If it's that close to get somebody like Kittle, that like next tier of tight end is definitely achievable.
Like what, Mark Andrews?
Yeah, something like that. One of those guys, one of those dudes.
He's 93. Hawkinson is probably the guy. Ertz is probably the guy. Maybe Goddard.
Yeah, let's go Hawkinson, man.
I mean, shout out to the new guy going over to Minnesota. Shout out to the Detroit Lions for getting the second round pick out of that. Yeah,
because I think
but we can't.
Is he the best blocker of those guys?
I mean, Kittle's probably up there. Hawkinson's probably up there. I don't know the actual statistics and metrics behind it, but they're both respectable for what they can do.
Yeah, so screw it. Yeah, this is fine.
Yeah, they call him Blockinson,
There you go.
We could probably give a first. Yeah, Kittle would have been sick, dude. If this was like a round or a pick 16 or 17, you would have probably got Kittle.
Let's go.
I mean, you got Hawkinson. You didn't have to give up much. We'll go ahead and we'll kick it to the. We'll simulate the preseason. We'll go to the regular season. We'll set the depth chart for you, and then we'll go ahead and simulate this year to see how this team does.
Man, I am feeling so hyped about this.
I like what you did here, man. This is pretty solid. We'll kick it here the regular season. We'll set that depth chart. We'll make sure to move Cordell Patterson to slot receiver. We'll make sure to have everything lined up perfectly so we could kick it to the playoffs and see what happens. I'm excited, man. This is pretty solid. I mean, Kirk Cousins, the 80 overall, you punted that for a reason. You surrounded it with talent. You got the offensive line. You got the defense for sure. You got Jacob Eason backing him up. Shout outs. Jordan Howard and Benny Snell.
Oh, Benny Snell. Let's go.
Love that. So at receiver, Pretty solid there. We
Greg
got-
Dortch, let's go. Herms NFL is a Greg Dortch fan account for those keeping track at home. Yes, big fan.
You heard it here. Left tackle we're probably solid on the offensive line, regardless of how they shaped it up. Left end. So Donald's at left end. That probably doesn't matter. Left end, right end. What's the difference?
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to move Campbell, the defensive tackle, but whatever. We'll just put him there now. My bad.
It's all good.
It is all good. We'll make sure to put that backup guy.
Boom.
Second.
Shout out Fedarian.
Yeah, that is a new strategy. Definitely. You be a bad team, so you have a high pick.
Oh, that makes sense.
Honestly, this left end is pretty solid there. We'll put him there. Left outside linebacker, you have Melvin Ingram. You could probably put Anzalone back up. Love that. What were you going to say?
What? Actually, what I was gonna say really would not have added much to the conversation. So we are good.
Yeah, for sure. Moving on. Okay, so here we are setting the depth chart here. Landon Collins, he actually didn't really drop much in overall, so that's pretty solid. DeAndre Baker. Shout out to DeAndre Baker. So we probably could put Kareem Jackson, honestly, even in here at third corner.
Not bad.
Yeah, definitely exactly. It was he could have a badge. That's a good point for sure. And of course with Akash, I think the Falcons had like the number 5 overall pick. So
yeah,
it definitely that is weighted pretty heavily in trade is the earlier the first is just like how Dynasty is,
Thanks.
So third down running back. No, you probably so third down running back. That's a pass situation. Do you want to have Patterson there? If you have Patterson there, that removes him from the slot. But I mean, Lenny is fine.
Lenny can do it, man. I feel okay about that.
Power running back sitting pretty there. So slot. Oh, he's already there.
There you go. Let's go.
Oh my God. Okay, so we're looking pretty solid here. No, you probably want Donald there. So you could have defensive tackle be Campbell. You don't want Hendrickson coming in. You want him staying at the edge rusher. Sub linebacker. So here's where we can put Jackson. And then, probably Jackson and then Collins there. So this is pretty solid. Okay, cool. So we'll go ahead. We'll simulate it halfway through the season. What, that 6, 7, 8 games? How do you think you're going to do?
6, 7, 8, something
roughly.
Like that.
I don't know how it goes.
At worst, maybe 4 wins, but I expect to win a lot of these, man. I really do.
All right, and we'll kick it here. So we're going for 4 wins. That could mean you could potentially be like 4-3, 4-4.
Yeah, I think, because that's what I'm thinking. Like at worst, this is 500. I really don't think this is a bad team.
No, that's a great team, I think, for sure. So we'll kick it in here. We're going about round 5, round 6 here. We'll go ahead. We'll check out the stats to see how your team's doing. See what's good with it. Who knows what's going on out here in the Steeler land.
Oh man!
So it looks like 8 weeks here. I don't know if this is normal. You are 4-3, but this division's tough. 5-2 Bengals, 5-2 Ravens.
Hanging tough, man. It's hanging tough.
This is a tough division. We'll see what's going on. I mean, we're looking for a second half surge. Is there any additional changes you would like to make to this team? I mean, he's third in passing yards. You're not scoring with 12 touchdowns, which kind of sucks. But I mean, I don't know what's going on. 9 interceptions. I'm looking pretty solid. Lenny's chilling. 462, 9 touchdowns. Patterson and Howard are getting some looks. Receiving. Hawkinson's leading your team with Odell. I mean, you have 3 500-yard. I mean, things are going on. You definitely probably just need this defense to have a good second half surge here for you.
By the looks of everything, I don't think
it's just a tough division, man. I mean, you have tons of sacks. Like, what are you gonna do? You just been dealt some tough hard cards here and load the wagon. Then your 2 appearances. I mean, you're getting turnovers, dude. It's just you got unlucky, man, with your division mates.
At this point, you just got to stay the course.
We'll just stay in the course. Are you ready to kick it to the playoffs and see what happens here, Herms?
Absolutely.
All right, so let's go ahead and do that. So you have 7. We're looking at 10 more games here for you. Lot that could happen for the Pittsburgh Steelers. A lot that could happen for the Cincinnati Bengals and the Baltimore Ravens. How are you feeling?
We're on to Cincinnati.
We are on this. How are you feeling, man? What do you think is going to happen here?
All the underlying stuff says that I got a good team. So I'm trusting
Dude,
that.
I
That's
agree. And I don't know what I mean, dude. This thing is great.
Are you kidding me?
9-8, 13-4 Ravens, 12-5 Bengals. You literally just got shafted by EA Sports and John Madden. I mean, that's tough, dude. Third in the NFL in yards. You got shafted. At the end of the day.
How?
Lenny had 23 touchdowns. He didn't leave it in rushing, but he had 23 touchdowns. Odell, Hawkinson, Julio, yards for days, dude. Wow, 12,000 for Hawk. Holy crap. Defense. I mean, you got 390 tacklers, sacks, 17-10, 9. Like, you get
monsters. I mean, this hurts.
I mean,
this
you had 4 people with at least 3 picks. Like, you just got shafted by the NFL, EA Sports, Madden. Wow. I'm sorry to hear that, Herms. But
wild, man. Damn.
What that matters, though, is that you did provide this with a great show. You showed a clinic on drafting, but you also showed what can happen in EA simulation. Herms, thank you for joining. Is there anything you want to let the world know about you?
I don't know. I mean, as it's said on the screen the whole time, and as you said at the beginning, you can follow me on Twitter at HermsNFL. Check out my fantasy work over at Fantasy Six Pack, over at Football Absurdity. I got articles always coming out there. Got my podcast, The Lateral Show, a sideways look at fantasy football, and day job doing stuff at associate NFL editor at Clutch Points. So you can go to clutchpoints.com if you want some of that. Also, shout out the NBA coverage. The NBA coverage at that website is super good if you're into basketball.
Shout out to NBA coverage. Shout out to all that stuff. Herms, thank you for joining the show. And my computer's lagging a little bit, so we're just going to awkwardly sit here until I'm able to hit the outro. I mean, I don't know what I can do here, Herms. I mean, Herms, my computer is frozen, and I cannot hit the end of the show broadcast. It doesn't matter, but tune in next week here, everybody. I think we have Craig Ruth coming on. Shout out to Roto Heat. Shout out to Player Normal Activity and all that fun stuff. Catch us again at 9 p.m. Eastern. Herms, thank you for coming on.
Bless.